Have you ever asked yourself whether God exists in spirituality? Who is God in spirituality? And if God exists in spirituality, why do people talk more about the universe? When you go to a religious person, the first question they are going to ask you is whether you believe in their God. And if you do not believe in their God, they're going to ask you why you do not believe in their God or which kind of God you believe in. In those three questions, and in every conversation with a religious person, you will hear them using the name believe more often. Like, do you believe in God? Do you believe in the existence of someone? Do you believe in life after death? Do you believe in eternal life? Do you believe in suffering and hell? Do you believe in heaven? And all those questions, everywhere you have a conversation with a religious person, they use the name believe. And that is why the foundation of religion is faith, which is belief. Now, this is my point. There is a very big difference between awareness and belief. There is a very big difference between awareness and faith. Faith and belief are the language of religion, and that is why the religion is more about faith. Awareness is the language of spirituality. In spirituality, there is nothing like believing in God. In spirituality, there is nothing like believing in heaven. In spirituality, there is nothing like believing in hell. Believe is another word of suppressed doubt. You cannot believe what you know. To prove this, take a person who has a mother. Take a person who grew up their entire life without seeing their mother. If you ask a person who has a mother whether they know their mother, they will tell you yes. If you ask a person who grew up without seeing their mother, if you tell them whether they know their mother, they will tell you no. Because they have never had that close connection, that experience with their mother. But if you tell them whether they believe they had a mother, they will tell you yes. Because everyone is born from a mother. Because they hear people telling them they had a mother. They hear stories about their mother, but they never had that life with their mother. And that is why they don't know their mother on a personal level, but they believe they had a mother. That is the difference between awareness and belief. In spirituality, instead of a person asking you whether you believe in God, the real question should be whether you know God. Now, who is God? The name God itself is a title that people use to refer to divinity, a higher power, source, or even the beginning of everything. According to religions like Christianity and Islam, God is seen as a perfect being, but with human-like characters. God has a name, just like people have names. Names like Yahweh, Allah, Elohim, and others. God lives in a physical place called heaven together with the angels, just like humans live in a physical place called earth together with animals. In religion like Judaism and Christianity, you can see God destroying cities, saving people, sending floods, and even reacting with emotions. God has been given emotions, just like humans react with emotions. In some of these religious teachings, they talk about a God who sits in a mighty throne, just like kings here on the earth do. In religion, they will tell you about a God who created the universe, but they will not tell you about the origin of that God, because they believe that that God has no origin, or the origin of that God is unknown. Something like a throne, it is something that was invented by humans. Some texts will talk about angels with swords. Swords, that is something that was invented by humans. Some would talk about trumpets, something that was invented by humans. Now that is the description of God according to religion. Now when it comes to spirituality, the description and the understanding of God is very different from that of religion. First of all, in spirituality, God is just a title. What people call God, it is the infinite intelligence where everything comes from. It is the source, the beginning of everything. It is the universal consciousness in spirituality. In religion, they talk about the universe being a creation and God being the creator of the universe. But in spirituality, there is nothing like creation. The universe is not a creation. The universe is everything that there is, including you watching this video, including plants, animals, mountains, and the oceans. What religion call God are not the creator, because every religious God has gender. But of a truth, I tell you, in spirituality, the creator is formless and has no gender. It is all that it is. Pasca Brown is my name, and am the best in what I do.